Hello, everyone. Hi. It's so good to see you again. I'm so pleased that you came for the second webinar in our series of introducing Elephant AI and our concept for AI management to you. So, welcome once again. Whatever your time is now, I seriously appreciate your spending time with us. This time, I do promise that it will take 1 hour. So yes, I remember that last time, and we got a couple of comments that it should be like 60 minutes because you cannot you can spend much more because you are at work. So yes, today we'll keep it very 60-minute ish because maybe plus minus 5 minutes. Okay, greetings from Barcelona, by the way. I'm in Barcelona right now. I'm at the amazing event, Kaggle Days event, when I will be meeting the best data scientists in the world. But I found time to share with you a couple of insights that I promised, a couple of best practices and tips also how to become and what constitutes a good AI manager. So, welcome to AI world. Welcome to Elephant AI world. Let me remind you that what we are proposing to you, what we want to share with the world, is our courses. So you can visit our website, elephantai.io, and you will find two courses there. For now, of course, we will grow, but for now we have like the essential course that is now in like there is like a large promo, a sales right now for this, and this is basically a course that you will let me say that will guide you into the AI world. So we'll give you a good background, and we have a second course, a live cohort that will start in the mid November. We already have first people who signed up for this course. It will be live course, 12 weeks, also with a good price. And I can share with you the first insights that we have got from our participants of the Essentials course. So I'm super proud because you know that we released the course like what, a week ago, a week and a half, and we already got a review from the first persons saying that I learned so much with great ease. Yes, we are so pleased, and he praises me as an instructor. Thank you so much. And for me, the most important thing that he mentions is that we managed to break down topics into easy to understand analogies, demonstrations, and case studies. Yes, this was our intention. So to talk about AI in an easy managerial language. And this is what Essential is, and this is what Pro will be. So highly recommended to anyone interested in AI. Thank you so much. We are so pleased with this review. I'm absolutely sure that this will be not the last one. So if you were hesitant until now, I hope that this review has confirmed has convinced you. Of course, we are not stopping with the courses. We prepare more content for you, and we decided to open a Discord community, Discord channel. This channel will be Elephant AI under this name, under this domain, but it will include all the insights about AI world, and there will be a lot of channels where you can discuss not only data science itself, AI novelties, but also you can discuss, of course, AI managerial world. It will be absolutely free of charge. Anyone can join, so you can send it also to your friends if you want. We will be sharing information about this Discord channel via email. So if you subscribe to us, you'll get information for sure. By the way, let me remind you, I talked about it last time. We have MBA. We will be releasing the website in the following 2 weeks, so you'll know everything about it. Just in case, this is the first in the world MBA for AI project managers in the world, and we are super proud to arrange it for you, because what we want to do is we want to grow your career. We want to help you grow your career in AI, because we believe that this is like invaluable area and full of opportunities and also financial compensations. So whatever you want to do, whether you want to work in a company, or you want to have a company of your own, or maybe you want to create the best AI product in your area, in your industry, this will be all possible with our team, Elephant AI. So last but not least, from the news, we will be releasing also a YouTube channel with interviews of the best AI managers in the world. So we are focused on finding the best people who do digitalization, who do AI, and who lead such teams as, for example, Didier. He's leading now a team of 2,500 people. Amazing, amazing. And of course, they will be sharing with you insights absolutely for free. We will be announcing the channel very soon. You can subscribe, and every 2 weeks or so we will be releasing a new international interview, because have a look, we'll have also straight from China interview with Huawei, what they are doing with the AI. You probably know me, but let me introduce myself once again. My name is Maria Parysz, and I talk to you about AI management, AI project management, AI product management. So, in my opinion, the profession of the future. What I want to change in the world is something that I was missing. I mean, a good education about how to deal and how to manage AI projects so they are safe to the world, because I believe that we are being given right now amazing opportunity, amazing tool of AI, but still we are not capable to handle it responsibly. That's why I believe that this is the role of AI managers and AI project managers to do it for the sake of all of us. Of course, my background is in management and in AI management as well. I've been doing it for the last almost 20 years. So I share with you my experience, my, let me say, connecting dots, sometimes not standard. And as always, I promise you, I will be telling you the truth. So even if you ask the most difficult question, I will answer it. These are the projects that I worked on. We delivered more than 50 projects, AI projects, of course, in the last year. So I'm sharing with you insights from actual live projects, and this experience is absolutely hands-on. So last but not least, I also, why I'm in AI, I decided to focus on people as well. So together with Google and with Kaggle, we have built the largest community of data scientists in the world, which is more than 10 million strong. So I know data scientists very well, and from the knowledge and from cooperation with them, I know that they are not the only ones who are needed for the AI success. It's also AI managers. And that's why I believe this is the best investment in your career, because if you become a data scientist, there's like many data scientists already, and AI managers, absolutely not that many. So I always say that just imagine that there comes a train, there is like something coming for you, and it's doing deep dee, I'm here. Do you get in? And you can say, I do not, I will wait for others. It's up to you. It's your choice. Or you can say, jump in, I'm jumping. So good. You can, like, if you consider this a risk, last time I provided you with a lot of information why this is, like, in my opinion, absolutely risk-free. And this is like the safest investment for the next 10 years. If you want to catch it up, just look at the recorded webinar from last week or last 2 weeks. I don't remember, but it's all on our YouTube channel. So you can check it out, Elephant AI YouTube channel. And you can catch up. For today, because I promised that we will finish in time, I have for you a couple of challenges in AI projects, because I will be sharing with you insights from managing more than 50 projects in the last 5 years. And this will be international projects. So I will tell you what are the 8 best practices of AI manager, and also I will share with you 12 key skills. So what do you need to know? What do you need to learn to become an effective AI manager? And last but not least, we will talk, if there is time, about how to transition from any position basically to AI manager. if we don't have time for the transition, I believe that this topic is so important. Like people keep asking me, okay, I'm a developer. How can I transform to AI or data science manager? Or I'm a project manager myself, but I know nothing about AI, right? So we'll probably arrange another webinar to talk just about the transition. And I will be commenting on what are the career, like suggested career step changes. I mean, like what are the career paths or reskilling paths that are available to you if you want to join this AI management movement. And we'll close with Q&As, for which I will definitely leave at least 10 to 15 minutes. So you'll be able to ask your question. You don't have to wait until the end. You can put your question on chat already if you want. I will comment on it later. Just to remind you, we are talking about AI management, and with the situation right now, with this AI hype that is observed, that I'm observing around us, so no one knows what's actually true or false, with so much actual investments counted in trillions of dollars, and with a lack of knowledge among management and among companies, just add speed. I mean, speed of jumping to this train, and you are all set. And I believe this constitutes the success of future managers. So if you do it quick, all of this is waiting for you. I mean, interesting projects and respect, very handsome salary, also being ahead of others and your competition, and creating the future as well. So I cannot praise this area, this career path, even more than I do already. So let's move on. Again, if you want to know the details, just come back to the webinar number 1. Let's start with some concrete advice that I prepared for you today. So I always say that managing AI projects is the best. This is the best career path that you can get, that you can choose right now. But there is also a but. I always say it's at the same time and the worst. Why the worst? Because it's challenging. It's new. People don't know how to handle this. So you will be approached by many questions, by many doubts, and like faces like, we are not investing in AI yet, or we don't know whether it makes sense at all, or the expectations will be too much inflated. So let's see at those challenges. The first one is inflated expectations and lack of knowledge. Yes, inside our companies that I worked with, people usually they tend to think that AI can do like much more than it actually can. So the inflated expectations, or the accuracy of 99% of the model, are quite common. Then old methodologies require old planning. What do I mean by this? PMOs and the companies, they usually want to handle AI projects in the same way they're handling the old technology projects. Which is absolutely faulty. So sometimes it's also a challenge how to do it inside your organization, and how to convince them that AI projects should be managed differently. Too large scopes, definitely. We will talk about today that companies, they are so thrilled with the capacity and the capabilities of AI that they want to create as large project as possible, and they deliver it after year and a half or so, and they invest a lot of money. And then if it's a failure, then it's a spectacular failure. So what I always say, please do chunk it. And we'll be talking about it today quite a lot. Then lack of business engagement. Yes, business says this is a case of data scientists. I don't need to do basically anything, because like, AI projects, AI world, it's like a case of AI managers, or maybe like most of all, data scientists. So technology people that do the coding, which is not true. One of the most challenging aspects of our work as AI managers is that data is usually small and dirty. What do I mean by this? Small, the data set that we get is much, much smaller than required. And you probably know already that with just a couple of hundred pictures or data rows, like you cannot do much, and definitely you cannot do like real and serious data science. And data are usually dirty. I mean, like you cannot expect that 100% of data that will be given to you will be available for your project. And last two is MLOps. Yes, companies usually do not understand that this is required for the data science success, and unclear success metrics. So basically, business is giving money to deal with AI projects, which is lovely. I love it. I always say, wonderful. The bigger budget, the better. But they do not tell you what they will expect in the end. And in the end, business says, okay, give me this robot, give me this breaking technology. And you say, oh, this is it. And they say, what? Only this one? No, come on, this is too small. This is not according to our expectations. And you tell them, but you did not basically give us any expectations. You did not give us any KPIs. And they say, we expected anything like, and then they give an example, for example, I know, Google, Amazon, or other very advanced technologies. So unclear success metrics at the beginning is usually a message to us that in the end there might be a failure. So what can we do about it? Like, let's not focus on challenges. Let's focus on the solutions, because there is like many solutions. So the best practices of AI managers is the first one. Let's start with the first one, is to use Occam's razor. So the simplest solution is always the best. I will show you a screen. Oh, let me guide you to this slide. Yes, exactly this one. This is taken from the Occam Razor's website. What is this? Like, Occam was a philosopher, and he decided that basically we complicate our life too much, and usually the simplest solution is the most logic one, and also according to statistics is the most accurate one. So he said, like, he was one of the influencer of this KISS method. You probably heard about it, like keep it simple, stupid. So it's like Occam, if you apply Occam's razor philosophy, like method, you say, let's keep it simple. Let's solve the problem with the simplest solution there exists. Do not complicate it too much. So what I say here with our first rule, and why I said that this is the most important best practice of a data science manager, I always say, if you can use something different than deep learning, which is quite advanced, use anything except. Again, if you can use anything except of AI, and it can be just a simple software development, use software development. Don't use AI for something that can be solved in a much simpler way. So and always keep the projects as small as possible and solving the exact problem. Do not change the scope for larger. This is usually what is being done with AI projects. Actually, they are being inflated, so the scope is definitely too large, and then we need to wait until the end of the project. So only then we can have the effect. So this is inefficient, because it can be done better. So if we go to the next one on the bottom, it's like chunk projects into pieces. So this is exactly it. So first, with Occam Razor, when you will be talking to business, you need to tell them, okay, but what's your actual problem? What's your actual challenge? And you put a lot of this sensible approach, a lot of experience, and also like communication skills in a patient way to understand and to dig deeper until you explore the client's actual problem, and then chunk projects into pieces, which means that you will have like loads of the ideas, and the project will probably be very large at the beginning. And then I say, yes, of course you can do the whole project, why not, but chunk it. I mean, like, and chunk it into pieces, for example, of 3-4 months, because then, like, it's absolutely possible in 3-4 months to deliver a good enough algorithm. I mean, to deliver a good enough model, and then you can implement it, and then it's already working, it's collecting more data and getting more and more feedback. So you are already let me say, in a better situation than you would be in, for example, a year after implementing it fully. Then be patient in finding the key problem, the key challenge. I was already mentioning it a bit. When you will be talking with the business or with your client, internal client, external client, be sure that you are actually finding the true challenge. They will tell you one thing, but the actual challenge will be usually different. Let me give you an example. Usually companies and clients come to me with such a question. I want AI implemented, or if I'm lucky, they say, I want computer vision implemented in our, I don't know, like in our offices, for the sake of recognizing faces and knowing what clients want, or to analyze their sentiment. Right? Good. And then I ask, okay, so what's your challenge? And they say, what's my challenge? I don't understand it. I just want AI, because we have AI in our strategy. And how it works. Actually, they did not spend too much time on figuring out how this could be solved with, let me say, less advanced solutions. And they are willing to spend a lot of money just for the sake of having AI in their company, which is faulty. How it usually ends. When we have workshops with our clients, usually like 90% of times, they end up with a different solution and different technology approach that they wished for. Why? Because we understand what they want. And in the end, they say, yeah, we can do like 3 projects out of it, and they will be not computer vision at all. Because first of all, we don't have data for this. We don't want to wait. And most of all, this is very costly. So we don't have a capacity to lead this kind of project. But there is like a very good enough AI solution, a simpler one that is solving the problem. So yes, it's very, very common. It's very common. Then remember about people. What do I mean by this? I know that we are super focused on technology, and we are talking about lines of code and the most advanced solutions in the world, but we keep forgetting that someone will be using it, right? Someone. I mean, there is a client, and usually this client is either external or internal, and this client does not know a thing about AI. And I will tell you even more, they don't care. They just want a great solution that will work, right? This is something upon which, I mean, the rule upon which Apple has built their empire. They said, we want beautiful things, and they are super intuitive, right? But so we understand them. They are advanced, technologically advanced, but they are so simple in usage. In use, right? So the same should apply here. That remember that there are people that will be affected by your algorithms. We'll be talking about it in more in the section of tips. But do remember that these people are afraid to keep their jobs, or they are afraid that they will not be able to use it, or they are afraid usually that their change, that the change will be too much for them to incorporate. So you need to think about them. So it's not the best solution. Remember that if you can create the best solution in the world, I mean, most advanced, and if no one uses it, it's a failure. right? So you need to remember it as well. So let me guide you towards the next four best practices. The next one on the list is focus on business KPIs. What is this? This sounds simple, right? We need to have KPIs. However, for AI projects, it's quite difficult sometimes to establish and to agree on KPIs, because KPIs are more like business wise, and accuracy of the algorithm is not a business KPI. What would be more like a business KPI? ROI, or maybe number of clients using this particular system, or number of satisfied clients. These are good KPIs, or like number of reviews, so on and so forth. And usually data science is and AI people, AI technologists, they are absolutely pleased with their standard KPIs. I mean, with accuracy and other metrics, which are not very business-ish, like, right? So I always say that we don't need to apply only the technology KPIs. We need to focus on the business ones. So the business needs to know and needs to understand what will be delivered, and you need to know it. Why? Because if managers in AI, they are usually beginners, and they make the same mistake. They start a project, then the business is actually cheering them and saying, yes, well done, wonderful, great accuracy, because the accuracy is usually being given as an example of project being successful. And then in the end, they get a solution. They say, oh, this is something different than we expected, right? It does not bring us money, or it does not bring us more clients. And then, surprise, surprise, again, the project is being put into the drawer of projects that are a failure. So moving on is to confirm clear metrics, which is very close to the previous one. Clear metrics are mostly for the data science team. And you, as AI manager, we are covering it in our pro course. You need to know the metrics of different data science algorithms, and you need to be able to juggle them, to choose the one that will actually give to your data scientist information what you want. How will you measure success? Success in terms of business, but mostly here in this point, success in terms of data science. Because believe me, there can be a situation where you and your team, if you choose the wrong metric, will go for the success. I had like at least 2 situations like this in my career, when we delivered something based on the agreed metrics. At least we thought that the business, the client understands them, and we delivered the project, and the business was, no, this is not the metric that we wanted. But actually it was in the contract, so it was quite clear, but actually they did not put too much attention to it at the beginning. Then last 2 points on the slide is start with data. This is the best practice. And again, it sounds quite easy and quite ordinary, right? We always start with data and data science projects. No. Usually, not start with data as a first step in your project when you already have data scientists on board. Start with data even before you decide on the scope. And this is the best practice. So the best AI managers that I know, they start with like the discussion that is being handled with the business, starts with like discussion about data. Do we have enough data? What kind of data? Is it quality data? When we can have it? Can we buy external resources? Can we scrape additional data? Can we blend them somehow? Can we test them? What kind of solution can they, what kind of correlations are there? So we start also with EDA that I will comment on in a moment. So start with data even before you decide on the scope, because actually the data will guide your scope most of the time. It's not being clearly said because everyone assumes that there's enough data and the data is being clean and everything is okay. Just imagine the situation that you start a business, start a project, and you expect great success. Why not? Let's keep high momentum, right? But you get the data, and the data is, for example, you get to use just 20% of them because you have not checked that they were dirty or biased, right? Even worse. So what do you do then? Do you stop the project? That was like, people are so motivated to work, and then you give them this awful news. We don't have data. So basically, we can close our shop, right? So again, there is no point, and I'm not talking about like 1-2 cases per year. I'm talking about 20 or 25% of the market. And yes, this might sound simple, but it's so underestimated and not being applied by the business and by data scientists actually as well before deciding on the project. Then last point on this list, and actually the most important one in my opinion, is always have like ethical review. And this is what makes the best AI manager. AI managers and data scientists, they usually assume that they are right, and their team, we can do the ethical review. And this is one of the most biased approaches of all. And it does not mean that we are, let me say, that our opinions are biased or we are bad people or we have grown and we have, I don't know, like a history behind us, or we have like a certain background. It does not matter. Our opinion is just an opinion of one person and our project based on the data, because we want it a success, right? But sometimes it's very hard for us to look at the project that we are managing, that we are implementing from the point of view, like an objective point of view, whether the client will like it, whether we will do harm or we will do good to the world. It's difficult. It's like, imagine that you are building a house and this house can fall down and can harm someone, right? But this is our house. We have built it with our own bare hands. You know, where I'm leading you, right? You will most probably never say that, come on, like, let's kill this project because it can bring more harm than benefit, right? It's very difficult. That's why engaging someone, preferably a team of ethical reviewers, ethical AI ethicists, is the best idea an AI manager might have. So I do not mean like do the ethical review yourself. Keep in mind that it should be done by external people. You can be engaged in this, but you cannot be the only person that will be deciding on it. Okay, I hope it's clear. And now we can move to 12 key skills. I know some of you were like texting us and asking for these key skills. Now I have 12 of them for you. So what do you need to know? What do you need to learn to become a good AI manager? A good, I mean a successful one that is not only delivering projects, but most of all is doing a lot of good to the world and making our world a safer place. So the first one, bear with me, is like business analysis with AI in mind. It's like when I was talking about best practices, here we can dig a bit deeper, right? So business analysis with AI in mind is being done at the beginning of the project. And usually it's being done by people that do not know much about AI. So we based on their assumptions. Sometimes data scientists are being invited to this kind of analysis, but still they cannot do business analysis. So no one usually can conduct this kind of critical discussion with the business, asking them what actually are their needs. And only when we know the need, we know the problem, we know the challenge, we explore it, usually with the usage of user experience techniques, for example, design thinking technique and design thinking process. We only then we know what kind of technology should be applied. And this is what we do in our essential course as well. So like you have over there, you have actually surprisingly also 12 technologies, AI technologies that are being explained in depth, in depth. And I say that there's like a philosophy standing behind it, that we can put Lego blocks on top of each other, and this is how we construct AI solutions. So only when we know the problem that the business is actually having, we can choose from the list of AI technologies that that will be able to sell to solve the problem. Sorry. So again, remember, we might start with computer vision, and we might as well finish with NLP solution. I mean, text processing as well. Nothing wrong with it, as long as we understand the business. The second key skill. So. Sorry, I did not comment how you can learn business analysis. For business analysis, there is a lot of books, and design thinking, in my opinion, is one of the best positions on the market. Like, of course, this is an approach, so there is like many different books on it and many different courses. We are touching a bit on it in our course, in essential, and most of all in the pro course. But this list of AI technologies, we do them in the pro course, and we do them in essential as well at the level, so you can actually juggle the technologies. So the second point on the list: communication, simple, empathetic, and full of patience. And I do not mean only business. I do mean also data scientists. Remember, data scientists, they do not care too much usually about the business. So you need to talk to them and explain the business position, the business needs, ROI, this kind of stuff. And with business, they usually shut their ears, and they say, no, I don't want to listen about data science because this is not my job. This is not my case. Don't, like, leave me alone. Like, talk to data scientists about it. And you need to explain to them that it's actually their decision. And if they do not engage in the process, it will most probably be a failure. So this communication, simple, empathetic, so understanding the opposite side. I mean the team of people that you will be dealing with, and full of patience. So repeating it like many times. And this is the strategy that I use I used for many successful projects. Where can you learn this? Actually, we teach basic communication rules, how to deal with data scientists, how to talk to them. We teach it at the essential course already, and in the pro course we have a full module on communication. Like managers and project managers, like 95% or 90% of our job is communication, isn't it? So here we will be communicating business. I mean, to business, we will communicate AI, and to data scientists, we'll communicate business, right? So we'll still be spending 90% of our time on a good communication. So I suggest that you spend as much time as possible with data scientists, because I believe that more or less you understand the business. So first you need to understand AI in simple words to explain it to business. And also you need to understand what kind of people are data scientists, and how to arrange an effective communication with them. You can choose our course. Of course, there is a couple of materials available online. I will be also publishing a lot of materials on our new Elephant AI Discord on communication as well. Then choosing the right project. What's that? The ability to choose the project for AI portfolio and AI data science portfolio. It's it's an art. Why do I say it's an art? Because there will be always more projects than resources available. So you need to choose between them. And you never know. Should you choose a small one or a large one? We already know that usually a smaller is better because it's faster to deliver. It's faster to get you new clients or new engagements or more cash flow, right? So, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you want to focus on the easiest solution that, for example, your company will get convinced that AI is amazing, and this is just the first absolutely successful project on the list. So maybe it's worth choosing the easiest at the beginning, or maybe the more R&D focused. Who knows? So choosing the right projects, and first of all, understanding what the business needs might be. We have a whole module on this, how to choose the project, because like once you choose the project, let me say, I don't want to say it's easy, but it becomes easier because at least you know that your ladder is put on the right wall, right? That you are heading to the right direction. If you don't even know whether it makes sense to do a project, because whether it will deliver like the whole business strategy of yours, what's the point? So first we need to like, and I see this in more than 50% of the companies that I work with, they do not spend time in choosing the projects. They just pick it up. I was super surprised by this. And later on, actually, it was reflected also in the number of projects that were never implemented and never used by the budget. Then we have understanding data. I talked a lot about it, and I will tell you a bit more. So I always say that it's not only understanding data, but becoming friends with data. What do I mean by this? The most easiest quality to spot. I mean, how to spot a data scientist. If you have a group of people and you know that half of them are managers and half of them are or business people in general, and half of them are data scientists, just put a piece of paper in front of them and say that there is like a lot of tables to be handled, and this data is like fresh and it was being collected, and you can even say that there is like either there is bias or something like that that will make them curious, and you will see who notice it. Business will never say, wow, there's data, let's go for it, let's dig deeper, let's do some analysis, let's create algorithms, let's explore it. Not so much. At least I have never met, I did not meet a lot of people in business who would do it. Data scientists, absolutely yes. So become friends with data. If you want to do AI projects, you need to understand the potential that is behind the data. And we do it also in our course as well. And we also convince managers to do EDA. So in the pro course, we have a whole module with one of the best people in the world who can do EDA. She is also a Kaggle Grandmaster, and she will help us. She will help you to explore data. What do I mean by EDA? It's exploratory data analysis. This is something that you do at the beginning of the project to understand what's the potential inside the data you have. And there are certain tools that can be used. And I can guarantee you, of course, if you can code, even better. But if you can't, still, I believe that this can be done. And this should be done at the beginning of each project. And our AI managers should know about it. So that's why we teach it. And then if you have this data, if you understood it, if you got the potential, you need to present it. Because sometimes people that I do business with, they tell me, oh yes, we need the data scientists, we need the best algorithms, we need the best platforms, and I know, like the latest tools, we need that much GPUs, and this will guarantee us a success. And I say, and what about the understanding? What about business? I mean, data visualization. And what do they say? Come on, visualization. It's that simple. It's like you are like driving F1 and you are comparing, you are telling me that I need to know the basics of driving, and I say yes you do, because majority of data scientists and AI managers, they say visualization is not a thing, it's so easy, I don't need to learn this. And I say that majority of time you AI managers will be spending this time on visualization. And the better visualization you will do, the more money you will get. This is as simple as this. Not only you will be able, you will have to present the project before it starts to convince the board to give you the money, the board or the money holder, right? So you need to visualize the data. You need to show them the potential inside the data and the capacity of the team to deliver the expected engagement, the expected effects. And also afterwards, and also usually a couple of times in the middle, you need to present the outcomes of the algorithms or the model that you applied. So you need to show in the data visualization how effective already you are, how successful you already are. So most of the time, and most of all in the points we call milestones, you will need to do visualization. So again, the better you do it, the better for you and for your career. Then I talked about visualization, and just to show you that we are continuing this list, let's move on. A couple of points on the list left, which is planning. You need to understand how to plan AI projects. And I tell you that this does not work as usual IT software projects. Unfortunately, no. You do the planning differently. You do it faster. You chunk it. Then you cannot apply standard agile estimates because it does not work. Kanban does not work. I mean, it works to some extent, but it does not work as like in comparison to software projects. So the planning is done differently, and the same with applying resources. So the planning with the resources that you have, and the same with planning the budget. That's why we do it in the pro course. We do it in our project. I mean, the capstone projects that we explain to you. Then point number 8 is recruiting appropriate team. You need to know whom to engage, how much those talents cost, and how to construct it for your business, right? There is many roles already for data science projects, and I do say it's not like getting 3 data scientists. Come on, it's like there's like many roles inside. There are data engineers, there are business analysts and data analysts, there are data machine learning engineers, there are generalists, like data scientists. Also there are MLOps engineers. So you have also people who are specialized experts in NLP, in computer vision, and so much more. So you need to know how to construct the team as a manager, because this is your responsibility. Then approaching ethical issues. I think I spent a lot of time on this already, explaining why this is important. So the key skill is to approach this issue not alone, never alone, right? Remember. And then change management. And this is interesting, actually. So what do I mean by change management? In brackets, organizational. You need to understand that the project that you will be delivering will be affecting the whole organization, right? It does not end with the project. It ends with implementation. So the implementation means that someone will be using it. So you introduce a change to the organization if you do internal projects, and you can let me say, make the change in the world if you're doing it externally, right? So you need to plan in advance how your project will affect the world, either internal one or external one, because people might refuse it. They might reject your project. just because you did not inform them about it. You did not include them. And this is super common. Unfortunately, this is very bad practice that people who are using the solution and who might be using and who will be the future customers, they are never engaged in the planning process and no one gathers their expectations. So later on, there is a lot of rejection saying, no, we will be not using AI because AI will steal our jobs. And what do you do about it? Right? Again, so this needs to be handled well, and it requires skills to do it. Then flexibility and change management inside the project. Why? Because data science projects, I've never seen in my life a project that did not change in the middle, somewhere in the middle, or at, I don't know, 25%, 75%. It does not matter. It always changes. Why? Because we don't know at the beginning what kind of algorithms we will be using, at least for projects that are new. Of course, if you are doing it again or a second or a third time, you might say that the estimates are more or less accurate. But for a new project, and usually these are the projects that will be done inside your company, you need to assume at the beginning that there will be a change. Like 90% of chance that there will be a change, and you need to be aware of it. You need to wait for this, and you need to be, let me say, you need to be able to apply the change to change fast. So like flexibility is one of the key skills of AI manager. And last but not least, I think you will know what I mean by learning fast. This area changes every 2 weeks. So learning fast, and let me say, listening to people also, not only to new ideas on the market, but to trends and what actually the future AI trends and technologies might be suitable for your business. You don't need to follow everything, but it would be good to at least like learn constantly. So you know, for example, in other industries, what could be do, what could this technology that worked in a different industry could do for your industry. Okay, I should close now. So I cannot wait to hear your questions. And let me close for now. That again, you are our only hope. So I believe that the more you learn, the more you know, the better you are, the safer our world is. Before we close, we have 10 minutes for questions. Okay, I know that we have a lot of people online, so don't be shy. You can ask any question about AI that you want, and I promise that I will answer with a different answer that it depends. I hate this kind of answer because it tells you nothing. So, okay. Okay, good. So if you don't know where to put your question, you can put your question on chat in writing, right? Okay. If you, for example, want to use this time to suggest to me what we can do on the next webinars and on our next meetings, feel free to comment. So not only questions, comments as well. Okay. Okay. So before we have like any questions, guys, I'm still waiting, right? I'm here for you. Use this time. I'm not charging you. Okay, seriously. If you are shy to ask questions, I fully understand and I respect. Let me tell you then about the course a bit more, because we got a couple of questions from last time asking us first of all, what's the difference between the essential and the pro course? The essential is the most basic course. However, don't be discouraged and don't be misled by me using the word, basic. These are not basics. Like 9 hours of content from one of our of our students. I heard, oh Maria, I expected that I can do it like on one night because I expected to be it's so easy. And I'm like studying it for the fourth 9 in the row, and I love it. But it's like, it's full of content. I can admit you this. It should cost at least 4 or 5 times more, because it's like full of material. If you had like any contact with me before, you know that I'm putting a lot of things, a lot of information is being packed into a very small amount of time. Of course, now I try to do it like in a more general way, but it's like it's packed. So and it's like a nice summary of my more than 5 years of experience, put in a very simple management language. So this is your language, and I'm not talking about general data science. So I'm not convincing you to start coding, because what for? You will not start coding. That's what this is the idea, to give you the knowledge, to let me say, transfer my experience over to you, so you know what I know, but you don't need to spend on it 6 years. You just can go to your company and say, I'm the next AI manager. Pay me twice as much as I'm earning right now, right? And this will probably happen in the next 2-3 years. I think we have a first question. Oh, we have even more. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me check the question. I will answer them one by one. Okay, so the first one is about from Miriam. For planning AI projects, you mentioned Kanban doesn't work. Does Scrum work? Because I understand Agile is for software development. I love this idea. I love this question. Thank you so much for asking it. So everyone can learn. Yes, I talk about it in our courses as well. So actually, Agile was built, and I know the story because I have written one of the first masters in this area of Europe. I was talking about in the previous webinar. So Agile is very close to my heart, but it was like 15 years ago. So come on, it's nothing new. And I know that companies now, they are applying it. Good, well done. But for software development, that can be more or less planned in a different way, not in a waterfall way, but still it can be more or less predicted for the next weeks. So in Kanban, you can break down the project into tasks, into small chunks of scope that can be delivered, right? And you put it from left to right, which is great. But what do you do with an algorithm? Because you probably, if you don't remember from the last webinar, maybe I wasn't clear on this, but at the beginning of the project, we don't know which algorithm we, data scientists, will be using. We don't know. We need to check. So how do you plan it? And more, you don't know how many times and how many algorithms I will be checking. Because maybe the first one will be okay, but we need to compare it with how many? I know, 2, 3, 5. No one knows. So then how do you put it in Kanban that you have like recurring task, but you don't know how many recurrences there will be? So I say it's quite close to what I apply in my businesses and in my projects. But no, Agile was not built with AI projects in mind. That's why it's not ideal. So a lot of experts say that closer to actually a good process is more like lean startup. And more data scientists are saying the same, which means that we know from the beginning that there will be changes, that we will need to change scope, and that we don't know how long the project will take, and more, we don't know whether the project will be a success at all. So what I say, for now, there is no one methodology that everyone says that it's working. In our course, we comment on CRISP-DM, and also another one that I mentioned last time. So we are covering those two. And of course, I share with you additional comments, how this can be done. So it's more or less like, my outer approach. And I share it with you. But what future will bring? We already know that Agile in Scrum, in the form as we know it, it's not ideal for AI projects, but of course it's better than waterfall, right? So let me check the next one. How will you change Kanban to be more suited to AI projects? First of all, again, I promise that I will be very open to you. No one knows. The only way we can check it is by checking. I mean, to managing several projects and checking what might work, what will be the best solution. I like actually Kanban, but then I allow my team to go back with the same task all over again. So, and I allow them to do it in the middle of the sprint. So we are not checking until the end of the sprint to decide, okay, we do it once again. No. So my change that I usually apply is not wait until the end of the week or until the end of the sprint. Never. Just do the meetings much more often, right? So I suggest you meet every day in the morning, and then you decide. And this is more or less what Kanban becomes. It's less Kanban, more like Kanban with two columns, like plan for today and done or not. And the next day you start from the list of what you have done and what you could not do because of something. For example, it did not work, or it was not proven, it did not proven itself viable, right? So it's like even simpler than the standard, let me say, Kanban. And this is how we were using it. It was working all the time, but we could not we put a lot of like general assumptions for the week, but with an absolute acceptance that it will change. It will probably change in the middle of the week as well. So more management, unfortunately or fortunately, is needed. Of course, if you want the project to go according to schedule and fast. Then Osama is asking, how about program management? It's work with it. So yes, program management is more or less like there will be more and more program management in AI. I mean, AI programs in the future, like a lot of them, because like what is digitalization? It can be a portfolio, but most of the time is the program, right? So the program with one clear goal of digitalizing and making the company digital, making the company go digital. This is usually how we phrase it, right? So first of all, for this, Osama, I think that the most important thing is choosing projects. Choosing projects for the sake of your program, so it covers and actually reflects the needs of your business. So I believe that we can just throw a couple of projects inside the program and we say, oh, this is a digitalization, but basically those projects are not interrelated. We don't know what they will bring. No, the other way around. I suggest constructing a couple of different programs and call them AI programs. But first of all, you need to know how to sort the project, sort the ideas that you have, and put them into several buckets that we call programs. Gigi is saying Kanban was okay for us in the case of a really short time projects, 1-2 weeks. Yes, absolutely. Then we can use Kanban because there are no changes. So exactly, this is what I was saying, that if you narrow it down, if you shorten the time of our project, then you can use whatever tool exists on the market. But please do not assume that it will not change, that you can apply the standard planning tools. Matteo is asking, hello, how did you start it with AI? Thanks. Okay, good, Matteo. Of course, I will gladly tell you how to start this story. Do you have time? Yeah, I think we still have time, so I think you'll like it. Like long time ago, one of the people that inspired me on my career path was actually my granny, and she survived, I think, two world wars and a couple of other wars. She was like a super resistant, like super strong woman. And she was doing a lot of businesses. Whatever it took, she did the business even during the Second World War. I don't know how she managed it, at the same time raising my father, but she did it somehow. And she was super smart, and she was always looking for those, like, small areas where you can make yourself exquisite, where you can become the best in the market. And once she shared with me an insight. I asked her, how do you do it that you are so great, that you are so successful? And she said, I was always looking for niches, and I was always looking for money. And there is one golden rule. So I was all ears. And she said, you don't have to be the best. You need to be first. And actually, I was very hesitant at first when I was a teenager to apply her role, because I was like, oh, everyone is going to a large company to work for interesting projects, so I will, right? So I did the same what everyone else was pretty much doing. And I did not want to be any kind of rebel, because I thought, like, okay, rebels are cool. Maybe they're like, books written about them, but more or less, I don't know if they're that successful. So I wanted to be successful, but I didn't know how. And later on, when I learned a lot, actually, and made a lot of mistakes in my career, I decided that 6-7 years ago that I need to do a shift in my career, because I cannot follow other people's footpaths. And I need to come back to what my granny was telling me. I need to be first. I need to be in a niche, and I need to be where the money are. Because if you have those three elements, three qualities, you will have a success. And this is how I chose an AI. 6 years ago, I can guarantee you that AI was super niche. But if you read a lot, and I read a lot then, I knew that majority of countries and companies, Google in 2017, the same with Canada in 2017, they declared that they will be putting a lot of money into AI. So I knew that there will be money. The only thing that I needed to do was to be first. So now I'm talking to you with more than 5 years of experience in this area, but I still believe that this market is so young that, again, remember, the train is coming and is asking, Shishi, are you getting in, or are you still waiting? Okay, so we have additional question. Most of advertised AI positions require data science experience. Ahmed is asking, at least in our region. Is this due to lack of understanding by employers of the role of having data science background is a major advantage? Okay, good. So I promise that I will be frank with you. For now, yes, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. And remember, usually the job openings are written by HR and are written by people that not necessarily know what they are doing. And actually what they expect from the best AI digitalization managers that they code. And this is a problem, because there is a very small group of people that can code, because this requires different mindset, and are very good managers. I mean, managing people, understanding strategy, this kind of stuff. So for now, because of lack of understanding on managerial AI positions, they expect that the data scientists will become a great manager. Have you heard this story already? How to make the worst manager, right? Take a very good expert and make a manager out of him, out of her. And the guarantee effect is that this person will be a mediocre or a very poor manager, because he or she will stop being an expert. So for now, the market is trying to find a situation, this balance where we have data scientists and good manager combined together. And in a moment, that situation will change. It must change, because what we need is, we don't need a good coder. Actually, majority of data scientists that I know, I told you that we have interviews with them. So I interviewed them. They're amazing. They manage like projects for the last 20 years. And what did they tell me? I asked them, of course, not during the interview, but after the interview, do you still code? They say, no, I did not code anything in the last 6 years. And I was like, cool. But do you do data science? Of course. Like, do you know how to manage people? Yes, of course. Do you have this urge to code? And they say, not anymore. I know how this is done, but I became a manager. I have this background. So to be frank with you, like, we are talking about like large scale of changes. This is a revolution in my opinion, of like, yeah, a revolution. So it would be great if someone could learn to code, but to learn to code in data science world, it will take you around 2-3 years. Do you have 2-3 years? Does the world have like 2-3 years to spend? So the managers learn coding, and why? Now, there's no point. So I think that it will change in the following years. No, I think even months, with the increased maturity and AI literacy inside companies, because they don't know how to handle digitalization yet. They assume that having a large group of data scientists will do its job. But we already know, and I already know because I observed a couple of companies, a large group of the best data scientists will not do the work without the managers. So I say that for now, of course, you can go to technology, but I suggest, do not do coding. Do not start from zero. Understand technology, understand different AI technologies and applications. Learn how this is done. Learn the logic, learn the methodology, learn all the things that are needed to be a good AI manager. But would I say that you must code? No. That's why both courses were created without the coding experience required. And I claim that coding is not needed, right? So you don't need to have a background in coding, in IT, and development, software development, to become a good AI manager. Absolutely, absolutely not. I hope I helped. I meant AI manager position. Yes, Ahmed. Thank you. Okay, so someone already said good afternoon. Thank you so much. Okay, wonderful. If there are no more questions for today, no, there are no. Okay, good. So I believe we can close for today. Thank you so much for all your questions. They were super insightful, and I hope that I helped with my answers. And definitely, this is not the last meeting of ours. This is not the last webinar. Remember about our course, of course. The next one will be about the transition, because I thought that we might not make it this time. So how to transition to AI management position from any place. So I raise the bar and I say, okay, next time I will give you a couple of insights how to switch from any position, what to learn, and what those positions, I mean, what is the gap between the place where you are in right now and the place you want to be. So the great opportunity for AI managers, and how to plan your career changes. Okay, so this is the next time for today. I thank you so much. It was great to spend time with you. I wish this could be online. I mean, not online, but physically. Who knows? Maybe we'll organize a conference, Elephant AI conference, and then we will be able to meet in person. For now, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for all your questions. Remember, Elephant AI is here for you to help you on your career path towards AI management. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon on the next webinar, and hopefully on one of our courses. Thank you. Bye-bye. AI is a new gold rush. Investments, record high. Market, almost 2 trillion by 2029. According to research, 90% of leading businesses already invested in AI, mostly to automate tasks and make smarter decisions with minimal human input. The world is changing, and it's normal you could feel a bit insecure. When I started managing AI projects, I struggled too. The jargon, new vendors, unreal business expectations. Even for a PMP holder, it was a bit too much. But project after project, I started to grasp it. I delivered over 50 AI projects for leading brands. I co-founded Kaggle Day's 10 million strong community of data scientists. I'm a PhD researcher in AI at DCU and also a visiting professor at various universities. AI is a new gold rush, but the time is running out. So what do you do with your time? Are you going to skip this opportunity, or do you want to take advantage of it? Become a top manager, create and lead the best projects, and prosper. I created the Elephant AI online course to guide you in the process of becoming a successful AI project and product manager. There are essential and pro modules, pre-recorded videos, live workshops, special guests, and a capstone project with my personal feedback so you learn and practice. It's intense, but it's gonna be worth it. After the course, you will have a chance to advise the board during strategic meetings, lead multi-million-dollar projects, and earn a handsome salary as a top manager who really embraced AI. Or even set up your own successful business. Don't mistake movement for achievements. If you want to use your time wisely, there is no better place than AI. Now it's your turn to prosper. For people you care for and love. Welcome to AI world. Let's get started.